Welcome to the World of Controversy podcast.
Yes. WOC Pod in the house, episode 15. We didn't think we were going to make it, but we are here. Episode 15, WOC Podcast. Rob, how you feeling today, man?
I'm feeling good.
I am too, buddy. We got a really good guest today, by the way. Who we got today?
Oh, this is where I come in. My bad.
Hey.
Yeah, I'm here with my little brothers, my little nephews. This is Asa Khalif, activist, organizer, filmmaker, producer. I wear many, many hats. Mr. Controversy himself.
Yes.
It's good to have you on the World of Controversy.
I mean, this is an appropriate title for what we're about to go into. Some real deep. It's gonna be good. Thank you, though. Thank you. I appreciate it. This is not my first time here, but y'all have to understand these are my little brothers. So anytime, they real big now, so you got to make an appointment with them. You know how they get. But it's always a pleasure to sit there, sit down and have a conversation and rap and get into this little controversy, So I'm looking forward to it.
Of course. And people been sticking with us for a while. Y'all may remember Asa because he was also on one of our lives back in the summer of 2020. He hopped on the live when the protests were hot. And you can watch that on the Instagram on my channel. Asa, where can they follow you at?
You can follow me at all social media platforms at Asa Khalif. That's ASA KHALIF as in Frank, and that's Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all social media platforms.
Yes. That sounds good. All right, so Rob, what exactly are we talking about today?
All right, so we're talking about the Meghan and Harry interview that they did on Oprah.
Oh gosh.
I don't even know where we can start. I got my hand on the cusp because this is some real foolishness.
Yes it is. So if you guys have been living in a rock, Oprah did do. It was actually a special. Remind you, Oprah don't even have a show anymore.
Exactly.
So this
Wait,
was like
she don't have a show no more?
Nah, she barely got a network. I think she sold her network and everything.
She sold the net.
She sold her controlling interest.
That's episode 19. That's for another thing.
That's how bad I've been out of it.
Yeah, she sold that like last year. So one of them channels gave her a little special or whatever, you know what I mean? And she got to interview. It was a big interview. She interviewed Prince Harry and I guess Duchess now, Meghan Markle. And it's something. Some stuff was said. Some stuff was talked about. Social media was talked about, and people got, a little mad. People gave their opinions. But we're going to talk a little bit about the controversy and break down some of the history and maybe clarify what's exactly going on, Asa. You know what I mean?
Well, anytime black people are involved in any mix, white folks are always going to come in and try to, put their little spin on it. Just us showing up in our skin is controversy in itself. So, it was just a matter of time because she's a black woman. Regardless of how light her skin is, she came from a black mama. And her mother looked black, and that sister is beautiful in her blackness. And one thing I respect about Meghan, I know a lot of people say a lot of things about her, the haters. She never denied her mother. This ain't what is that? An imitation of life,
You're right.
where she tried to hide her black mama and pass for white. This ain't one of those stories.
Right.
She was very proud of her mother. Her beautiful black Nubian mother had her up right there in the front at her wedding. She never denied her mother. She never hid her mother and was ashamed of the way her mother looked. So anytime that there's a mix, like I said, when black folks are in it, when you make black coffee and here comes the cream, there's always going to be the mix-up.
Okay.
Now
hold up, Asa. You said she is a black woman. Now, do you think Meghan identifies as a black woman?
Yeah, she always identified herself as black. She never denied the fact that she had a low-life white father. Father, and then we can go into detail about him if we have enough time. But she knew that she was raised by her black mother.
Right.
She knew when she went to school, and her first day of school, her black mama was going to show up. So, and that was just the love of a daughter, looking into the beauty of her black mother.
Right.
So she never denied the fact that, if I'm with my mother and she's black, I'm automatically going to be identified as a light-skinned black woman.
You're right.
They don't look at mixed children, no matter how light they are, and say, oh, well, your white side is, they don't go into the cheese and crackers. They go for the pig's feet and the greens and the fried chicken when they want to talk about their racism. You know what I mean? So I applaud her for that.
Right.
But I personally don't think she knew what she was really getting into.
Okay, right.
By going into a family with a history of white supremacy, racism, to come in and occupy spaces that didn't belong to them and control that. I think, when you're in love, you don't want to think about all these things. She's living her life. She has a prince. He loves her for just her being her.
Yeah.
And love is good. Love is, transcends hate and all that stuff. When you're in love, everything is beautiful.
Right.
Showing up at work on Monday is beautiful. The boss that you want to punch in the mouth is beautiful. When you're in love, everything is good.
Right.
But then the reality kicks in. The reality kicks in that you are, you're a nigga to them. I mean, I don't know if we should can say that. You're a nigga to them, and we have to call it for what it is.
Right.
No matter how smart she is, how talented she is, how beautiful, how poised, how well spoken she is.
Right.
At the end of the day, she's not going to be treated different from Harry's brother, William's wife, Kate Millington, because Kate is a white woman.
Right.
So she's going to be, Kate's going to be treated with white respect, and she's going to be treated like, the masters in the slave house again, and this is the offspring. And that's how, and I think it was so obvious this time. They didn't even try to hide it with the press. And, to constantly be badgered to the point where, she said in the Oprah Winfrey's interview that she wanted to kill herself. To be locked in that fortress without any support, and be concerned about your child and how your child is going to be treated. I think it came to a breaking point because she said, F this fairy tale, this thing, I got a child now. And now it's really about my kid and the protection of my child, which they didn't want to support. And I have to say, Harry, as a white man, loves his wife, and I give him all the respect for standing up as a man to say, all this is nothing. I have a responsibility to protect my wife and my child. And he did that. So I give him, he gets invited to the cookout tonight.
No, Asa, come on, man. No, I do respect him as a husband, though, because
but that's a man, though. First,
right.
He's a man first. The title comes second. Prince, husband, all these things are secondary.
Right.
You're a man first when you stand up for your family, stand up for your own.
Right.
That supersedes everything.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That supersedes everything.
Yeah. Rob, what was your reactions when the whole thing happened? I mean, what were you thinking?
I mean, to be honest, I was shocked at all of this.
You was? Really?
Yeah, I was. I'm like,
what shocked you about it, Rob? What shocked you about it?
All right, you want my real input is like, all right, how about the part where she talked about the royals and what they said about her son might be dark skinned.
That shocked you that they would ask her, have that conversation, not with her, but with her husband, because that's where the conversation.
And I'm thinking that the child gonna be like really dark. I mean, Meghan is really light. If you
she came from a dark skinned black woman, and the gene supersedes.
All right, you got a point there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised. I don't know. I'm not surprised, honestly, that somebody in that family on the low came to Harry and look, what color is this? He's going, if he's too dark, we can't make him a prince. See, that was the main thing. That was the main point because we're going to strip you. And this is going back to the history of the royal family and white supremacy. We're going to strip you of your humanity. We're going to strip you of your titles. We're not even going to protect you. We're going to, join the team to try to destroy and murder your son. We're not going to give you no physical protection. The guards, you pretty much are going to be on your own. But it's amazing how white supremacy tried to do that to black people. They want to strip us. When they hung us, they always chopped off something.
Yep. Oh man.
Either it was a manhood that they were jealous of, or it was we're going to stop you from creating. We don't want nothing to look, because we're so powerful. And this is not, anti-white talk. This is just history.
Yep.
They have been killing us and destroying us for decades. So I mean, it doesn't.
For centuries,
generationally. They have been doing this, and
systematically, all that stuff. Yep.
And it starts in the mind. If they can take your mind and make you believe that you're less than, look what they did to Meghan Markle, bringing it back to her mind. I want to kill myself. I actually want to do harm to myself because you white effers. You know what I'm saying? And so that shows, and it's, and I didn't curse, and it showed, but I'm thinking it. But, but again, I'm going to strip you down to your bare minimum. And, and I'm just glad that sister had enough strength through the ancestors, and again, Harry, as a man who just happens to be white, who loves his family enough to say, I will leave every last one of you guys, this whole royal nonsense alone.
Which I thought was amazing.
Because he never really believed in it in the first place. Harry was never one, even growing up, he's more like his mother, Princess Diana.
I heard something about that really Harry has always been kind of contradictory what the family wanted him to do. Even when someone said he joined the military, they didn't want him to join the military.
But even as a kid, they wanted him to take this picture perfect picture, and he was the rebel. Stuck his tongue out. I mean, we've all been rebels in our family. We've been the Hellraisers. Yeah, I know this one has. And we've always and so have you. We've always we're the misfits. Right. We are the X-Men. We gravitate to people that's like us because we were the ones that would not conform with your religious nonsense. Right. We had our own relationships. People like with this type of attitude that we have and Harry has are outside. They color outside the lines.
Wow.
So I'm not surprised.
Woo! Oh man.
So I just gave some props to a white man. So for y'all, so please don't hit me up with your Asa, you anti-white.
Right.
You anti-white. Don't do that because I have a white adopted father too, who I love, who reminds me of a lot with Harry when he brought my black mother home and told his family, but we didn't have that conversation with our family. I was blessed enough not to have it. And if they did say the N-word, I didn't hear it and I didn't feel it. So it's a lot. I can really relate a lot to coming into a white space, and then, anybody who knows my story knows about my father and my mother and my parents. And, and how my father knew that if he's bringing a black son into white spaces, and my dad came from Fall River, Massachusetts, so.
Oh man, that's pretty
much. Yeah, and so he had to know, he had to not only be schooled in, in the responsibility of a father, but also the responsibility of bringing a black son in.
Interesting.
And exactly, and protecting me and my mother in those spaces. So I can relate, to that, going into spaces where family, and obviously not to the extent of Meghan, but I understand going into spaces and you're the only black person there and have to be able to navigate within those spaces. So, I get it.
She did.
She had no choice, but she did it. She did as best as she could.
But here's my thing. Y'all can come at me.
All right, here we go.
Yeah, here we go. Controversy.
Let's talk about some coonery going on. I don't care what y'all say.
Woo, come on.
This is Racism and White Supremacy Incorporated, is it not?
Yes, it is. Absolutely.
1560s.
Yes.
Elizabeth I believe it was the first, not the second, because that's the one we got now. Elizabeth I started. Now, remind you, Britain did not start the slave trade, but let's be clear, they became some of the biggest slave traders within 2 centuries within the game, okay?
How you think they got so wealthy?
That's what I'm about to hit on. A lot of the royals' wealth, even today, is because of them making sure they were financially independent from Parliament at the time. So we gotta really comprehend that their wealth is based off of black bodies.
That's right.
Meghan Markle is married into White Supremacy Incorporated. So why is Oprah a descendant of an American slave? First off, pandering, and second off, I'm trying to see if this is a distraction, Rob. Because what's going on with the Tyler Perry thing too? Y'all hear about him staying? They were staying in his mansion.
I heard about that.
Okay, so first off, y'all staying in his mansion. How do you even know Tyler Perry? Oh, well, Oprah supposedly introduced them to Tyler Perry.
Well, Tyler has helped. Tyler, so I don't want to say anything about people being generous. We have to, I guess, dissect what is behind it. Some people can be generous for just out of generosity. Some people can have an agenda.
Right.
You know, as at this point, Tyler's always been known to come in and save. You know, he flew the body of Whitney Houston back on his private jet. You know, Tyler's helped a lot of people. I know certain families that Tyler has helped secretly and never,
really?
You know, So I don't want to, when someone is putting their money where their mouth is to help their community and help people, I certainly don't want to, you know, to crap on.
So you're saying this isn't out of his character?
No, I'm just saying this is consistent to what he's done in terms of high profile celebrities.
Okay.
You know, he gave Kim Kardashian a role, for God's sakes, in one of his movies. If that's not charity, I don't know. What the hell? They had, when they fled, they had no money. They were actually living off of the inheritance of his mother, Princess Diana. So that without that money, they wouldn't have been able to make the move because the royal family had cut them off. They had no security. So Oprah introduced them to Tyler and that whole connection. Tyler said, well, until you get a place to stay of your own, you can stay here at our home, in my mansion, and I'll hire security for you. So that's how that came about. Oprah Winfrey, a lot of people say she cooned around, but she cooned herself into several $1 million because CBS paid her that much. I believe it was $7 million, maybe even more, just to do the interview. So that's probably why she was sitting over saying, "What?"
Yeah, try to act all shocked. You ain't shocked Oprah.
You can't shock Oprah. And for $7 million, I would look the hell shocked too. What?
What?
They said what?
Who's having that conversation? Oh, she put some good acting in that one.
She was Miss Sophia for real on that show.
Who having that conversation?
You knew well who was having that conversation.
No, hold up. Did y'all hear about after the interview, Gail?
Yeah,
she hopped on the grip. So after the interview the next day, Gail asking Oprah, oh, how was it talking to them? Is there any background scenes? Oprah like, well, the only background thing that he did tell me is that he wanted to make sure it wasn't his grandmother and grandfather that was saying that the baby was gonna be dark.
This was a well-planned marketing.
It was.
And if you're in trouble, go to Oprah.
Wow.
No, really. She what's that gentleman? Wow. What's the actor that did made the Nat Turner, that movie
Birth of a Nation?
Birth of a Nation.
What is his name?
I can't.
He got canceled so fast.
Yeah, he came back with another film, but not at the level. Yeah. And I can't think of that brother's name.
I can't even.
So long, but I'm about to look it up.
Yeah.
Please.
Birth of a Nation, dude. But
when that controversy happened, when that controversy happened, Oprah invited him to come on and said, you know, the movie is so important. Let's frame it so you know you can actually tell your story and we can frame it piece by piece. He refused, and you know what happened? They canceled him.
Wow, it's ridiculous. Wow.
I can't think of his name. I'm looking right in his. Yeah. But I mean, Oprah is the what's the woman that used to sleep with all the white presidents in Channel 6 and fix it?
Is it Nate Parker?
Nate Parker. Olivia Pope, that show.
Oh man.
Where she slept with all the white men. And the presidents and the adultery and wore fancy clothes. Oprah's the Olivia Pope of fixing.
Wow.
If you really want a fair interview, I was in crisis. I would probably go. Can I get an interview with Oprah too?
Oprah just want to make money. She don't really care about these people.
You really?
She don't even care about.
See, I wouldn't go that far now.
She may
not care about this.
Hold up, Asa. Do you know who this is talking, right?
I know who this
is. This is the biggest Michael Jackson fan. He's still getting over the Michael Jackson dude when the boy came on Oprah's show and he exposed Jackson.
We're not even talking about that. So what are you doing?
We know you still got pain for that.
First of all, we already know how Oprah rose, okay?
Where's all this aggression from Oprah?
Right.
First of all, Oprah always been fake.
Dang. Wow.
That's real.
Wow.
Always been fake. It was like from the womb. It's straight out of the womb. She been fake.
She been fake. She been sold out.
Okay.
You might have to die on that hill. I'm not completely there. And I'm personally there.
So when we talk about Oprah being sold out,
I am partially there, but not completely there.
Sold out, I wouldn't say.
Right. Okay.
Because she got enough money that she don't really have to sell out at this point in her life.
Why do you think she got the money?
Yeah, but she got it now. So usually when you get the money now, you got the power. So you don't really have to go through that whole hoops thing. Right. I mean, she's Oprah effing Winfrey. So she has a certain platform just on her name alone and getting these, she hasn't even been on television in years, but she's still relevant with these interviews. I get what you're saying. I was pissed at Oprah, and I looked at her with a side eye because I'm a huge Michael Jackson fan too, and I believe that we're getting off the topic, but it all comes back to at the end of the day, and he is the king of pop. And y'all can cancel me, but he's the king of pop because he was never ever convicted. Okay, and I believe when people are accused, they have a right to have their day in court. I don't care who it is. You have your right because somebody can accuse you right now.
That's true.
And people, and people will automatically start taking sides. God forbid. So everyone has a right to have their day in court.
That's true.
And then we can have another podcast. We can come on and talk about it. About the because there's a lot of other questionable things with that. Sleeping with little kids. Those are one things also. So we have to dissect that. But I think Michael Jackson was absolutely eccentric to the point of insanity. Where if you look in the mirror and you see Peter Pan reflecting back at you, you will probably buy a Ferris wheel and invite all the. I could imagine being Michael Jackson to be that super talented and isolated. And I'm 100% sure that there was more than just physical abuse with Michael Jackson. I honestly believe that because there are certain signs in where he felt more comfortable around children than he did with adults, which shows that he had some sort of trauma at his early age and trusting adults. Right. And so, but we can dissect a lot of that.
We might have to do an episode.
Michael Jackson is a fascinating. It's just the story alone is really, if you look buying into the American dream. I mean, Michael Jackson, his family was not supposed to make it on any type of level. In then coming from that, hardworking, humble type of beginnings, and to be these global. I mean, it's just
unexpected.
Really the power of God and talent. It can take you.
Asa, can you talk to me about Harry and him wearing a Nazi costume when he was the age of 20? Now, what black woman would marry any white man with that type of history? Because
you got to be careful because they're ready to say that you anti anything. I personally didn't. I thought it was in bad taste. Obviously,
okay, right.
You know, anything symbolizing anti-Semitism, pain, Hitler, because he didn't like our black behinds neither.
No.
And many people were also, black people were persecuted also, you know, in those situations. But I thought it was in bad taste. It was a bad judgment. But he owned that, you know, and he didn't run from it. You know, he took his medicine. He changed.
Dang.
He really did. And I think when somebody's calling you out on something, you know, if you don't show no growth in changing your behavior, your attitude, you know, he did it. I mean, and he survived it because he was a prince and he was white.
Right.
Poor Nick Cannon had to go on a whole damn apology tour, and the man was just sitting there having a conversation with somebody who was religious. I'm just saying, you know. Harry was praised and still is praised, but he got over that hump.
Right.
But he wore a Nazi uniform, and he proudly wore it. It wasn't secretly, and someone taped him. He wore it in public. He was very proud of it. And he apologized, he changed, and folks forgave him because he was white and he was a prince.
Dang.
You know, but I wouldn't suggest any of our people to wear it. And I'm sure none of our people would wear nothing like that. If you wear it, you better. If you're doing your apology tour, you better come to this podcast. They may give you a fair chance.
We'll give them a fair chance.
Well, what were you thinking when you went?
We might give them some hell too, but we'll give them a fair chance.
Punch them
first
in the
before
face.
we give them hell.
What's wrong with you?
World of Controversy, episode 15. We're having a really good time today. Episode 15. We got a really good guest here. We got Asa Khalif in the building. Asa, the legend, Philadelphia legend, activist, filmmaker. We got Rob on the track, and you got me, the brother Germ Griffin. Rob, I want to ask you something, man. About your girl, Meghan.
My girl? What?
Because really, my girl, I'm not gonna lie, I had a crush on Meghan way before Harry had her. I don't care what y'all say. I used to watch Suits.
Now, what makes you? Oh, go ahead.
No, check this out.
What made you have? What about Meghan turned you on? You had a
man, damn.
So we talking about colorism.
Oh wait, no, because I'm about to hit him with something.
Okay.
Because there was some jokes on a show called "Who Can Say the N-Word" about people and white girls.
Okay.
Our episode.
No, there was some jokes getting
somebody
made.
Here like white girls. I mean, I'm not against it, but somebody here like white girls.
So I got a question for you, brother. Supposedly, some people on Suits have said that Meghan Markle is conscious of her race. There is some history that shows that, yes, she is conscious. Like Asa was saying, she has a black mom, she has a white dad, she's biracial, she is conscious of it. No, check this out. Could you be pro-black and marry opposite of your race? And we got a whole episode coming up for y'all folks, but I just want to hear it.
Episode that coming.
No, and remind you, she biracial, so she is part white. You got to understand that too. She is part white.
Yeah, but she doesn't look like a white woman.
What?
Okay, Asa, no, that's controversial too.
Look like a white woman.
Because if someone told me she was Italian,
she looks racially ambiguous.
Okay.
That's what she looks like. But she doesn't look white.
She doesn't look like she don't look black either.
If you sat her next to Kate Middleton, you would say Kate Middleton is with a Latina, or possibly an Israeli, or possibly someone that's mixed. But you know that she's not sitting next to the white woman.
Not an Italian?
No, but possibly if she had a tan, if she came back from something like. But I mean, what I'm saying is, and trust me, she's beautiful. She's a beautiful black woman. But you know, you don't look at her and say she's a white woman. It's just not. You can look at her and say somebody. You look at what you won't say she's white, and that's why she's being persecuted, because she's everything else but that. That's why they went in hard on her in the press, and the family is asking about the color of the baby, because she may not look black to everyone. The traditional, she may not look like Tamika, but she looked like she could be Tamika's long lost cousin.
Damn.
Somebody went into her house and somebody had some relationship with her mama.
Wow.
And that's why, that's where the anti-blackness come in. It's sad, but it's true. And we're dealing with a whole bunch of words. We talk about colorism, which brings me back to why you like us so much.
Well, first,
because
we can talk about the colorism thing because
that's your preference.
No, that's what I was just about to say. Some people have said that we can also make the argument about preferences.
Right,
Could I say my preference is lighter skinned women?
Uh-huh.
I would probably say yes.
Okay.
But that is me.
All right.
Now that's me.
Now, will y'all please stop inboxing me? You heard him. You can.
Well, I get canceled once a month, so y'all gotta know that.
Some sisters said they could turn you. Some dark sisters said, I said, well, hit him up. I don't know what he liked. They saw you and
well, hold on. I didn't say I didn't like dark skin, but I'm saying that first off, I'm
the juice.
That's what they
hold up. Oh, no, wait a minute. Let me be clear. We're the controversy fans. Let me be very clear. I love dark-skinned women. I've dated dark-skinned women.
You have.
I have. And let me be the most clear on this.
Yes.
Meghan Markle, even when I used to watch Suits, I didn't think she was light-skinned. I thought she was mixed.
Right.
So I already was coming into it, my attraction for a mixed woman.
Right.
So it's not like... And I'm attracted to white women. I'm attracted to Israeli women. I like Lebanese looking women. I'm gonna be honest.
Right.
I'm Christian.
Right.
I would have dated, you're attracted to who you attract to.
Mm.
But I do believe you're, like the brother Umar said, your marriage is political. I believe that a marriage is not only about love, it is political. So for this ambiguously black, white, mixed woman, and people looking at her, I'm going to keep it a buck. I think most people who know how mixed people look would say this woman's mixed.
Right.
Okay? I think most people would say it. They wouldn't say she's just light-skinned. Because there is a difference between looking at a light-skinned black woman and looking at a mixed person. You can say. And I feel like her decision to not only marry into one of the white supremacy dynasties, but to marry a white man in general tells you something about her connection to her whiteness, which I will never know because I am not white. I don't have that struggle, Asa.
No, I get it.
I really don't. So I really feel for some mulattoes, some mixed people, because I'm like, they really do have to deal with not only the blackness, but the whiteness. So maybe in her mind, well, listen, I am part white. I should do whatever the rest of Kate Middleton and the rest of them are doing. I'm white.
But I honestly believe two things. I honestly believe that because the way she looked at her husband and the way he looks at her, that's love. I honestly believe they truly love each other. And she fell in love with Harry, who just happens to be white and a prince. And sometimes with love, we can't choose, who we fall in love with and
That's
the
true.
baggage that they bring, and
he left his royal family for her.
He did.
He left her.
That gotta be love.
It's
if you
love,
love
exactly.
royalty,
and I just want
royalty,
to. I don't want
money.
to put that false narrative out there. He has dated dark-skinned women. He's dated all types of women before. So I want to put that out there. He's not a colorist. All right. So don't give him my nephew no BS. And every woman
too,
and
so.
from the streets are always talking, but the dark-skinned woman was treated a little highly than the other women, maybe because she was a beautiful dark queen, and it was something that he, so don't jump on it. All right, that's all I'm saying. You like what you like, and we respect that.
Right, you can jump on them.
No, because we got to get to you now.
Me?
Now, what's I hear about you and these white women?
Me? I don't mess around with these white women.
It's confession time, man.
Chill. I don't mess around with these white women.
It's okay. I'm saying it's okay. We're on the confession.
I'm on the confession. I don't really mess with white women like that.
It's all right.
No, He knows why I like.
Yeah, we ain't gotta get on no Asians today, but that's a different episode. That's a different episode. Episode
I would
15.
go Asian
where the
before I go white, but I prefer.
You like Asian women too?
I would prefer Asian before I go white, but I prefer black women.
He do.
Black. I like the dark
You dated all of them though, right?
I dated dark skin, light skin.
Yeah, that's all.
Now, here's my thing with him though, Asa. If we're gonna stick on race and we're gonna stick on lineage, let's talk about the difference between an African American man dating an African immigrant. Because some people have talked almost as if one's a whole lot better than another.
Yeah, he said about that because I do love the African woman.
Yeah, the cultural part.
I like the African woman more than the African American woman. I will say that.
Well, that's more of a cultural thing, I think.
I think it's more of a self-respect thing for him. I think he likes how they kind of
tradition. Remember, it's a cultural thing because they come from a type of tradition that they honor from their family, where we have pretty much not only our women but us too have taken on a lot of American traits as well, just to because we're here.
Dang.
I think if we all came from Africa, we would have had a lot more in tune.
African beauties.
We would have been more in tune with looking at ourselves and seeing nothing but beautiful.
It'd be like coming to America.
As opposed to getting to that point and struggling with how we look and being proud of how we look and stuff. And it all gels in what our conversation is because we're not getting off the topic. We're talking about interracial relationships and all the baggage that comes with that as well. But at the end of the day, poor Meghan was taught a very sad lesson, which unfortunately a lot of women and men we just talked about, well, I don't watch The Bachelor, but his black behind got taught a lesson too. You picked that white woman and you effing gagged when she came out at Antebellum. The point is, I'll make it, is you can love people. Yes. You can fall in love with whoever you fall in love with, and that should be respected. I'm not against interracial relationship. My mom had a relationship with a white dude. She wound up marrying a black dude, too. But the point is, love is love, and you love who you love, and no one should be judged or, ridiculed for that. But I'm saying is when you take that leap, you better know that you're going into the danger zone. Right. And it's the sunken place because she woke out of that real quick because when she heard nigga, that'll wake anybody.
Because really, in reality, this could have turned out completely different.
Absolutely. It could have turned out to the point where she could have killed herself like she said she wanted to. Or it could have came out to the point where she just decreased herself in order to allow them to shine.
So I got a question. Would y'all think that she would have got married to Prince Harry if she was a different complexion, like a Michelle Obama type tune?
Wow, Asa's saying no right now.
No, absolutely not.
Now hold up. Is it because of him or would it be because of black woman?
I think with that type of complexion, it's safe to bring her to the party. It's safe to bring her to the party because I can dip my toe in it.
Dang.
I can dip my toe in it because it doesn't look like the traditional. When you think of a black woman, you traditionally think of a black woman, not a biracial
Michelle
woman.
Obama.
Exactly. So you're not bringing Michelle home, but you can bring Meghan home.
Oh man, listen, we're on the Controversy Podcast, episode 15. We're having a lot of fun with a good guest. But listen, we got a sponsored episode today. Rob, I'm super excited.
Yes. Can I answer your question though?
Go ahead.
Oh yeah, go ahead, brother. Yeah.
Can you marry outside your race and still be pro-black?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we do have Dave Chappelle, who was pro-black.
I got nothing to say about that.
And
I got nothing to say about that. I have nothing to say about that. I'm not even going to comment on that.
Hold on.
I'm not going to even comment on that.
What Dave Chappelle
I had
did.
enough job validating comedians every time I'm on this show. Next
Hold on.
Negro
But you know what Dave Chappelle did with his show when he left his show because he didn't want to make black people to look like fools.
Wait. Okay.
He
And he's
didn't
still
sell
married?
out.
Okay, listen, I got nothing to say about that.
Hold on.
I got nothing to say
let's
about
talk
that.
about the movie Get Out.
What
And
about
the creator, Jordan Peele, he's married to a white woman.
Is he?
Yup.
Wow.
And it was so crazy because I didn't know that until a girl.
Jordan Peele's
Put
married
that-
to a white woman?
Yup.
Really?
Yup. A girl pointed that out to me.
Wow.
And
didn't
I
know
looked
that.
it up.
It's
And I'm
okay.
like,
I didn't know. I didn't know.
So is
Yeah.
Childish Gambino.
and it's so crazy because
Childish Gambino
Yep.
is married
Yep.
to a white woman?
When I found that one out, I was like, what?
The Danny Glover?
Danny Glover. Danny Glover.
Childish Gambino, the rapper.
Believe he got a child with a white woman. Yep.
He got a child with her.
Brother.
He's not married to her though.
Brother.
Not that anything's wrong with it. I'm surprised.
Then why you acting like that?
Because I just didn't know. I didn't know. Like I knew about Dave Chappelle. I didn't know about the others.
yeah, Jordan Peele. That's probably why he made that movie Get Out. He
That's what
probably
I'm
was
saying,
talking
like,
about himself.
Is Spike Lee married to a white woman?
I don't think so.
Listen, we
Mike Lee
questioning
was
everybody.
real pro-black, yo.
We questioning everybody.
Look, I'm telling you, it's okay. I'm just learning. My nephews are putting me on to it. I had no idea. Wow, Jordan Peele.
Listen, Asa, I'm telling you.
Got to check
But
this out.
That shocked me to my core.
Yeah, but I think Jordan Peele might be biracial, though. Is he not? Or what is he?
I mean,
I think
he's a light
Keegan
skinned
is.
dude.
he is
Keegan,
like he is.
Keegan is.
Okay,
Jordan.
Keegan is biracial, but not Jordan.
No, I don't think
Okay,
Jordan is.
all right.
I'm not again. Not that anything wrong with it. I just. Wow.
Yeah.
It-
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me see
he's
how she
looking it
look.
up right now.
Let me see how she. Oh, she is white.
Uh-oh.
She whiter than white. Damn.
She's Silverman. She's Silverman, right?
Yeah. No.
Oh,
yeah,
no,
Chelsea.
he ain't married to Silverman?
No, Chelsea Peretti.
Already, okay.
I mean, she's like Anchorwoman white.
Yeah.
Oh, they in love. All right, man. Damn.
Yeah. That's why he knew about Get Out. He probably went to that sunken place.
Oh, man. Well, listen, man. We got
She
close.
looked like one of the women that was in the sunken. Don't you look at them eyes.
Yeah.
She's scary as hell. I'm sorry.
When you put that brain inside you. Grandma!
Here's the keys. Here's
Get
the
him,
keys.
Grandma!
You grandpa, I think.
Oh, Grandpa.
If you see Jordan Peele running towards you at night,
Run.
no, love is
Run.
love. Love is love. We support all types of love.
Yeah.
We all. Nobody's racist here. All right, so don't try to spin that narrative.
I ain't racist, but
And I do
that
believe
movie
she-
Get Out was some
but
real
she-
stuff, though.
But I mean, she's Anchorwoman white. Like,
Asa,
it's,
we're trying to close out the show.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right,
I'm sorry.
What were the controversy? Episode
Oh,
is
man.
episode 14, right? Or
Wow.
15. Yep.
Episode 15, I'm sorry. But hey, this was a good discussion.
Very good.
Very good. Thank you for having Asa on the show.
Thank you for inviting me,
If
man.
there's anything you want to promote, this is your time.
Yes, well, as you know, I started a media company, and we're gonna do. Actually, I'm gonna come back on when my nephews invite me back on to introduce it. It will be launched in June. We finished all our paperwork and everything, and we're going to do film content, interviews. We're going to do it all, and it's important to have your own Black-owned and operated media platform, especially here in Philadelphia. So we're going to do a lot of collaborations with my nephews and a few others and stuff, and we're really, look out for us. It's going to be really good. It's a new journey for me, and I'm very excited about it.
Amen. Get me in on that film stuff.
Yeah,
absolutely.
All right, World of Controversy. This was good. See you guys next time. Next episode. We'll talk about Kirk Franklin and his son.
Oh man.
Amen. See you.